Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, so we're talking about Joshua, talking about the assembly on Thursday. So that's what I want to start with this morning. I want to hear some of the things that you took away from that assembly. What are some of the things, or what's one thing that really hit home for you, Trevor?
To get off social media and start watching documentaries or something that will give you knowledge.
Okay, so actually spend your time in a more beneficial way instead of wasting your time. Okay, Tim.
Look at every situation as an opportunity to grow.
Absolutely. All right. Look at every situation as an opportunity to grow, opportunity to learn and grow. Anytime you have a setback, anytime you get punched in the face, it's just an opportunity for you to get better. Good. What else? Shay.
Being my circle of friends and think how they change the way that I look at things and maybe think of other friends that could help out.
Yeah. So have you guys heard me tell you that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, like Joshua was saying, you have 100% control over who you get to spend time with. If you want your circle to be Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Steve Forbes, Warren Buffett, those people can all be your circle, right? Joshua was talking about how you can use social media to tap into the wisdom of those people. All right, good. What else? Trevor's got 2.
To follow your own path, not to settle for what everybody else does, to lead yourself.
Yeah, so blazing your own path instead of following what everybody else does and going down the traditional route, blazing your own path and how that can set you apart. Good. What else? Tim.
I'm not if something bad in a situation, if the outcome, don't be so negative about it. If you have a negative response, you can have a negative outcome.
Absolutely. Gmo.
Self-talk.
Self-talk. Self-talk's really important for a lot of you, right? Okay, being your own best friend, your own best coach, learning how to talk to yourself in a beneficial way. Okay, most of you raised your hand when he asked you if you would not hang out with someone if they talk to you the way that you talk to yourself, right? So figuring a way to talk to yourself in a more beneficial way. And realizing if you continue to beat yourself up over your mistakes, what are you going to get more of? Mistakes, right? Yeah, absolutely. So my message for you this morning is, okay, all those things you learned on Thursday, what are you actually going to do with that? What are you actually going to do with that assembly on Thursday? Because here's the thing. It's really easy to be motivated. It's really easy to get inspired from an assembly like that. But what are you going to do when you actually walk out of the door? What are you actually going to do when you walk out of that assembly on Thursday and you get back into the normal routine of your life? It's really easy to be motivated. Here's the problem with inspiration. It's but a vapor. So poof, it's gone, right? Okay, you walked out of that assembly on Thursday and you were probably bouncing, right? You had a pep in your step. And then what happened? You got into your classes in the afternoon and probably poof, it was gone. Right? Or maybe it lasted until Friday, or maybe it lasted until the weekend, and then all of a sudden over the weekend you're playing Fortnite all weekend and drinking Mountain Dew. Right? So my question to you is, what are you actually going to do with that information? Because if you actually took that assembly on Thursday and you just put one thing into practice in your life, if you just started to spend 10 or 15 minutes a day in a more beneficial manner, and you started to do that with consistency, your life would drastically change. But the thing is, there's probably maybe one of you in this room that's actually going to do that. And so again, I ask you, what are you actually going to do with Thursday? Are you going to let it evaporate? Are you going to let it go away? Are you going to change your life? It's really easy to understand bamboo and the story of the bamboo. It's really hard to actually water on a consistent basis. It's really easy to understand that you are building a foundation and that You are responsible for you, and it's a lot harder to actually start to take yourself seriously. It's really easy to understand that everything is an opportunity to learn and grow, and it's a lot harder to actually respond that way when you get punched in the face. And so my question for you is, what are you going to start doing? What are you actually going to implement into your life? If you want to be a leader, if you want to be a CEO, if you want to be a boss, are you coming to my class and not taking notes? Because I can tell you right now that you're getting the best leadership class twice a week for 15 minutes in the morning that you could possibly get right now. Are you taking notes? How different would your life look if you just started to keep a notebook and you just wrote down one thing that you learned from my talk twice a week? How different would your life look in 3, 4, 5 months? All of a sudden, you've got this binder full of rich material. All of a sudden, when you go to college, you could be like, yeah, I already got this leadership manual done. By the time you graduate, when all your friends and all your peers are trying to find their first job, you'd be like, yeah, I already know how to lead people. I'm already ready. I've already been training. I've already been working in the dark. I'm ready to shine under the bright lights now. If you want to be a coach, how different would your life look if you just started to write down one thing that you learned per day? If you just watched one video on YouTube of one drill that you could run with your team someday, and you just started to keep a binder, your future head coaching binder. How different would your life look in 4 or 5 years when you're graduating college and you've already got this manual built? How many people in the world want to do whatever it is that you want to do? I guarantee there's a ton. How many people do you think want to be a head football coach in the Big Ten, which is what I want to do? You know how many people want to do that? So it's what are you doing? What are you doing about it? Everybody can want it, but what are you actually doing to go get it? It's if you want to be a lawyer, how different would your life look if you just started to spend 15 minutes a day studying one case? If you just cut 15 minutes a fortnight out of your day and just started to spend 15 minutes a day studying one law case every single day, how much further ahead would you be when you get to college or when you get to law school? How much further ahead would you be of everybody else? If you just started to spend 20 minutes a day, if you spent 20 minutes a day and multiplied that by 365 days in a year, anybody know how many hours that would be in a year? It's 120 hours. Just 20 minutes a day. And so if you started that right now, today, in 4 or 5 years, how much further ahead would you be of everybody else? I want to tell you about this thing called the law of diminishing intent. And this is why I want to talk to you about this today. The law of diminishing intent says that every day that goes by from the day of intention, you are less likely to ever implement that. And so from Thursday, there was probably something that you said to yourself after that assembly that you wanted to start doing. Right? If I went around the room and asked you, you were probably really motivated on Thursday and you're like, yeah, I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, I'm going to start working harder at practice. Yeah, I'm going to start watching 5 minutes of film every day. There was probably one thing that you said you were going to start doing. But the thing is, 4 days have already gone by, right? And so every day that goes by, you become less and less likely to ever put that into practice. And so unfortunately, I'm catching you 4 days afterwards, but I'm hoping that I can reel you back in today. If you wanted to start doing something on Thursday and you didn't start doing it, you have to start today. Period. Or it's never going to happen. Joshua talked about taking yourself seriously, right? He said that nobody took him seriously until he started to take himself seriously. What if you started looking at you as you incorporated? What if you started to look at you as if you were a brand and you were training for your dream opportunity right now? Because I guarantee if I go around the room, myself included, if I went around the room and I asked you, if your dream opportunity knocked on your door right now, would you be ready? Would you be prepared? And most of you, myself included, would probably answer that question honestly and say no. Like, I want to work for PJ Fleck at the University of Minnesota. If he walked in the door right now and saw me teaching this class, that's how I want to operate on a daily basis. Every day I coach, every day I teach, I act as if PJ Fleck is sitting in the back corner. Because I know when I go meet him in 3 weeks and I ask him for a job, I need to be ready and I need to have the conviction and say, yeah, I've been training in the dark. And I'm ready for my opportunity. Because how many people do you think want to work for PJ Fleck? Thousands. So it's like, what are you going to do? Anybody can want to do that. Few actually put in the work to go get it. Few actually put in the work to go get it. And so my question for you is what are you going to start doing today? What are you going to start doing today that's going to take you closer to what you want and who you want to become? 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Can you start to consistently sow that into your life?